What's going on? VitalSyntax here, and this is some gameplay from Hawken, which is a new free-to-play first-person mech shooter. It just started open beta yesterday. That means that anybody can download the game and try it out for themselves. So I'll put a link in the description of this video if you guys want to go to their website, make an account, download the game, and start playing yourselves. Now the game is still in beta, so expect some glitches, bugs, and things that need to be patched. As it sits right now, it seems like there's a lot of issues with joining multiplayer matches, say that the servers are not available, or there's no matches found, or a lot of errors like that. So hopefully those will be things that they tweak and fix, and obviously that's the reason why they have a beta in the first place. Before I get into the mechanics of this game and talk about how it works, at least to my understanding, because keep in mind I haven't played it for more than a couple hours, so I'm sure there's things that I don't know about yet and things that will be added after the beta and things like that. But I will just say right off the bat that this game is extremely fun, and I did not see that coming. I thought it was going to be quite gimmicky, and I didn't think I was going to enjoy it at all. I thought it was going to be really frustrating for me, just because I've tried other mech shooters. I've tried Mech Warrior Online recently. I'm personally not a huge fan of that game. I know some people really do enjoy it. But other than that, I haven't really played a mech game since, I guess, Armored Core, which I think I played that on the PS2 or the Xbox, the original Xbox. I don't remember which platform I played it on, but I played the crap out of the game and I really, really enjoyed it. And this kind of has that same feel and vibe to it, at least it does for me, just because I haven't had this type of mech experience in such a long time. It's really, really fun to just kind of mess around with this game. And I actually think I'll be playing this game quite a bit. I'm trying to get some of my friends to download the beta, and I've already spent some in-game money, and I'll talk about the economy here in a second. So let's first talk about some of the mechanics of the game. So there's 4 game modes, at least right now. You have Deathmatch, which is free-for-all, Team Deathmatch. There's a conquest type mode where there's 3 flag points. I'm playing that mode right here, and if you control the flag points, you're actually controlling these turrets. And the longer you control the turrets and the more turrets you control, that means that there's more firepower that's shooting at the enemy base, and you're just trying to destroy the enemy base. So essentially it's your classic domination, flag point, conquest type of game mode. And then there's also another game mode that's a little bit more complex that's in alpha right now, and I haven't tested it out, so I'll talk more about that once I've tried it out and it's kind of been updated a little bit. But in total there's 4 game modes for the game. There's also a bunch of different mechs. That means that you can get different classes, things like grenade classes, things like assault classes like I'm playing with right here. There's long range recon like sniper classes. There's heavy gunner classes that have, big machine guns, or things that have big rocket launchers. So there's a lot of options as far as your base mech goes. And then on top of the base mech, you can actually get a bunch of different options. So you can customize everything from the core of your mech to the legs, the arms. There's a bunch of different options as well for paint jobs, for color schemes, for highlights and things like that. That's mostly aesthetical changes, and there's also a bunch of upgrades that actually give you real in-game changes. So things like getting better guns for your mech. Maybe they're better at longer ranges, maybe they have higher damage but lower fire rate. It seems like most of those things are pretty well balanced. Obviously that's something that we'll have to kind of see over time, but there's a lot of different options and a lot of different upgrades that you can do to your mechs, and you can have a bunch of different mechs. So right now I think I have a assault mech, a sniper mech, a recruit assault, which is the one that you start out with, and I also have some of a heavy gunner missile type of grenade thing that I haven't really messed around with it too much. So being a first-person shooter, it has your basic movement and shooter mechanics. You can shoot your machine gun with your left trigger and shoot your missiles with your right trigger. Now I am speaking to the recruit assault, which is the default mech that you get at the very beginning, and those weapons will depend on which class you're using. If you're using a sniper class, it might be longer range, or if you're using a grenade, it might be grenade launchers, things like that. But you have your left and right click. And then on top of that, there's also the mech kind of inspired gameplay mechanics. Things like being able to heal your mech or regenerate its armor. So what you want to do is get into cover, either go retreat back to like friendly area or your base, or have some of your teammates cover you, and you can hold down C and you actually be able to repair your mech. And you can actually see the health or the status of your mech as far as your armor goes in the bottom left corner on the blue screen of the heads-up display. There's also some really cool dodging mechanics and movement abilities that allow you to either dodge incoming missiles or just kind of have more agility to get shots off on your opponent and dodge their shots. So the missiles are one of the key gameplay components, at least right now, because a lot of people are running the Recruit Assault, which is once again the default mech, and his right click has a very powerful missile. Now you can dodge that missile because it's not a homing missile. They shoot it and it's kind of fire and forget. You can actually click the middle button after you shot it and explode it at any distance that you want. But what you can actually do is dodge that incoming missile. If you hold shift and either press A or D, you can kind of slide over to the left or slide over to the right. So there's a lot of timing involved and skill involved in actually dodging people's incoming powerful missiles or rockets or grenades. There's also some movement mechanics, like being able to use a burst that allows you to go faster, to retreat back to friendly territory, or try and run away from an enemy, or try to follow or chase after an enemy. And you can also hover or kind of use your jetpack to get a higher ground on an enemy, and that's a really good tactic to try and get above them so that you can shoot down on them and hit your rockets a little bit more easily. There's also a bunch of different add-ons that you can get for your mech. So for example, the mech I'm playing with here has a grenade and a shield, so I can use that shield to throw out that allows me to have an area where I can't take damage and my teammates can't take damage. So it's almost like an energy bubble that is like a shield that will protect you from incoming fire, and you want to use that if you don't want to take shots, and maybe you use it to deploy it and then regenerate the armor on your mech while your teammates are kind of providing covering fire. And I also have the grenades, which you can lob out. You have unlimited of both of these, but there's a delay, a recharge rate for all the different upgrades you get. So you can see those down either on the bottom right corner of the screen, or actually in the middle of my crosshairs will show you the regeneration of rockets or machine guns or whatever type of weapon you're using. There is a big emphasis on the mini-map, being able to find enemies. There's always a UAV, there's always a radar on, and you can always see where enemies are on the radar. Now there are some jamming type of tools that you can use. You place down near where you want to take engagements, and it'll actually jam the enemy's radar. And there's also countermeasures that you can use so that you can't have your radar jammed and things like that. But it does have a big emphasis on the mini-map, so make sure you're paying attention to that, looking where your teammates are, looking where the enemies are, and try not to be shot by a bunch of people at the same time. In a game like this where you have a lot of health and it takes a lot of damage to kill an enemy or get killed yourself, there's a big emphasis on team play. You want to stay together in a group, and that's why it's probably best to play this with a friend and you have communication as well, on top of just being able to play with each other. So, I mean, if you take on one mech, an enemy mech by yourself, you're probably fine, as long as you can outshoot him or use some type of technique to dodge his incoming missiles and stuff like that. And there's a lot of really cool skill involved that's really nice to see. But on top of that, if you run into more than one guy, chances are you're dead. I mean, they can take you out so quickly, and it's not like something where you can get 2 headshots on both of them like you can do in like Call of Duty or something. So you want to stick in groups. Also, it helps if you're sticking in groups because you can provide covering fire for a teammate if he's trying to regenerate his health or he's trying to retreat. So it's probably best to stay in groups if you're playing something like Team Deathmatch where there actually are teams. And if you're playing something like Deathmatch where it's a free-for-all situation, typically what I experience when playing that game mode is that you get a kill and then you get killed. You get a kill and then you get killed. Because by the time that you get a kill and you've had a battle with an enemy mech, your energy is low and you don't have time to really regenerate your armor and repair your mech. And by the time another enemy shows up, because you're on the radar whenever you move, you're getting shot again. So I don't know if there's I think they probably need to turn the player count down. Right now I think it's a little bit too high for the single player, not for the single player, but for the free-for-all mode. But just remember, when you're playing a team-based game, definitely stay in groups, so you'll have a huge advantage. Another big gripe that I usually have about free-to-play games is in some of them you rent weapons. So instead of being able to unlock something, you'll buy it, and you'll only have that item unlocked for a set amount of time. Usually it's like a day or 7 days or a month, depending on how much you're paying. Now in this game, at least in the beta from what I can tell, you're not renting items, which is awesome. I'm glad that they did it this way, where if you buy an item or an upgrade for your mech, it's permanent. It's a permanent upgrade, or whenever you buy a mech, it's a permanent mech that you get. You don't have to keep buying that mech over and over and over. So overall, I am incredibly impressed. I wasn't really looking forward to Hawken at all. I've seen a lot of trailers and a lot of videos about this game when it was in closed alpha or closed beta, and I wasn't super excited for it. But now that I've played it and had some experience with these amazing graphics, I mean, this is probably one of the best, if not the best, free-to-play shooter out there, or free-to-play game in general, and also had a really good time with it. And I haven't even yet played with friends. I'm sure it'll be a lot more enjoyable playing with a couple buddies and using communication and doing really well. This game is really awesome. You guys should definitely check it out. I'll be doing a lot more videos on this, hopefully. So remember to subscribe for future Hawken videos. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to give me a like or a favorite. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.